Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the art studio from home. So I'm out in the veranda today, enjoying some what little bit of sunshine there is, and some fresh air. And so recently, I just posted an opportunity to make some art about chickens. So I thought I'd take you step by step through the processes of how I made my chooks. Well, I hope you enjoyed the chicken challenge. I thought I'd take you through the steps on how I drew some of my chickens. So let's start with this guy here, because he's the first one that I did. And I was thinking, what is this core shape here? And I thought, well, that actually reminds me of Fred's head a bit, like a teardrop. And I thought, well, I can work with a teardrop. So I thought, all right, a teardrop. And I really concentrated on controlling that pen. And I thought, oh, that's a pretty okay teardrop. Now the next thing I need are some eyes. So I've got some eyes for our chicken, and the beak is just a V with a curved top, so like a wedge or a triangle with a curved bottom. So these wings here are just quite simply a curvy line that's just coming out, a couple of kicked curves in it, and back in again. Trying to again control that pen and make sure that my edges and surfaces touch. Oh, that one wasn't quite as wide as what this one is. I can see that. All right, so I add some legs, which are just like the letter Y. And now I'm going to look at this bit here, this crest on the top of the chicken, this red bit. So it's three like hills, if you like. And so I want this first one to look like it's coming forward, so I'm going to lay it this way. And then the second one, I want it to look like it's standing up. This third one, instead of bringing it back to the starting point, I'm going to bring it a bit further back out so that it goes around to the back of that surface. And that's an all right chicken. So then I thought, all right, well, if I'm working with a teardrop shape, what happens if I skew the teardrop shape a bit more? What happens if I pull it up into just like one corner? What happens then? And I had this kind of funny shape going on, and I thought, oh, okay, that reminds me a bit like a bean bag actually. And I thought, all right, well, which way would this chicken be looking now? Because if I bring his beak off this way, that's kind of a bit of a funny shape that I've got going on there. So maybe I need to think about it differently. And that's where I thought, oh, maybe the eye could be here. And what if I bring his beak out this way and show that it's split? And now that crest, I'm going to start with this big one first to show that crest up on his head. And I thought, all right, he needs some legs to be standing on. And I thought, what does he need next? He's missing some things still, isn't he? And I thought he needs a wing. All right, so a wing is just literally going to be just a dip like this, and a tail. And so now I have a chicken that's looking forwards and a chicken that's looking up. Now they're getting interesting. And I thought, all right, that base shape, here it is here. There's that skewy one. There's that first one. I thought if I could turn him this way, can I turn him the other way? So I had to go here, but I learned a lesson. This one here, I couldn't draw the shape first. Otherwise I ended up with a cross. Let me show you. So I knew this time I was going to make it like a pear shape. I was going to try and squeeze it around the top section there. You can see I didn't join my line, but I thought, all right, I'm going to make his beak come out this way. But the problem was that I had this line here now showing. So I had to know that when I did this one, I had to start with the beak. So I thought, all right, let me try that. So this time I went, all right, a beak first. I'm going to round it off there. And then I had to draw my shape around that. And that gave me this kind of fella. Some eyes, some legs. Then he needs a wing of some description. Now if I bring it out the back there now, I'm going to cross that line there. I didn't plan for it. So I'm going to keep this one tucked in here, but I could bring a second one poking out the back there. Oh, look, he looks like he's strutting. He's strutting around. And now I'm going to bring that top back in again. Here we go. He's like, who are you looking at? You looking at me? You should look at me. Look at me, I'm strutting. He's a good chicken. He's missing something though, isn't he? He looks like he needs something more. Oh, a tail. All right, this time I might play with a different kind of tail. I might play with some tails. Let's spin around a bit. Oh, still feel like I need some bulk in there though. I don't love this chicken, but hey, every chicken is an experiment. I think I did a better job of him over here when I brought his arms around the front. Let's try him again. Let's not give up on him. All right, do the beak first. And then I'm going to bring the head around, the body around, the eyes go in. I'm going to try bringing my there's my legs. Let's try a tail like this one. We'll add on even the forward one. Oh, he's looking better. Because every artwork is an experiment. Oh, did I like that? I'll do that again. Oh, that one didn't work out so well. These ones here are like a triangle. So I'm thinking a triangle. I want to have him bending down. And I'm softening off my edges. I bring in a triangle, trying to close those lines. And now he needs those chicken crests that he's got on top that make him very chicken-esque, very chicken-like indeed. All right, this time I'm going to try, let's have a look. Let's have a look what was going on with this one here who's bending over. I had to think really hard about him. I thought, how can I make it look like he's bending forward? So have a look at this shape here. It's kind of like a light bulb, isn't it? Or a balloon. So I'm trying this idea of coming around to that bigger top or back end actually. Dropping down and picking that edge up again, trying to control that pen. All right, so now I had to work out where's his beak going to be. Well, the only place it can be is here. And I wanted us to see that he had some eyes, so I perched these in. Oh, I need to pick that line up again. Now this time, have a look. 1, 2, 3, they're much littler coming forward on the top and from behind. It's kind of bumped into the eye there, hasn't it? I'll have to try and avoid that the next time I do this guy. Remember, every drawing is just an experiment. That's all it is. And sometimes the experiment turns out really good and you get great results. And sometimes you're like, oh man, that's terrible. That's terrible. I think that at the moment he could look like he's flying almost. We'd have to bring his arms out, wouldn't he? But by adding just this one leg in here, now we're getting this bird's eye view where we're looking down. Have a look at this. This is a really easy, simple shape. It's just... Again, it's like a bendy balloon almost. We're just blobbing. So all I'm doing is just experimenting with these beanbaggy, blobby kind of shapes and going, oh, that's interesting. Where will the beak be? There we go. Where will the eye be? All right, what else does he need? He's going to need a wing. And sometimes we can see another wing poking over the top, but that'll give a different feel again. I'm going to try bringing his leg forward on this one and I'm going to keep this one forward too and see what happens. Oh, that's an interesting kind of thing going on. He looks like a bird at the moment, so we need to chickenize him and maybe give him his crest so he looks a bit more chickeny. And can or don't have to have a tail entirely, up to you. Let's try again, we're just experimenting. So let's try a little one up here like this. Oh, bring that line all the way down. Maybe I can cut it with that. There we go. Let's see how that looks. So that's pretty much how I'm working with these chickens, or maybe just this one. Just a blob that's been squeezed in the middle. Oh, look, we're going to have a problem now because, see, my line is going to cross in through here. So I have to make a different choice. What am I going to do? I'm going to move it over to here. It's not ideal. Look, it worked. It was an experiment. And then so, yay! This one worked. Yay! Especially when it looked like it wasn't going to work. Some legs start to make him look more chicken. And of course, he just needs his crest. All right, let's have a look at how we move from here. So I had some textures. You might have some textures or some colored pencils. And I thought if I just limited my colors, so I didn't want to go crazy with color everywhere, although that can be a really interesting effect too. But for this one, I thought, no, I'm just going to stick with some predictable color throughout it, and it'll give me a nice pattern. And so I took my time and really made sure that I filled in those spaces without going out of the lines. I tried to be really meticulous about where I laid down that color. And so every time that there was either a tail or a crest, that got a little splash of red. But you don't have to do red. You can do any color that you want. I just thought that red's very iconic of the chicken because they were looking a bit bird-like until I started adding in the red. Then I went for a yellow for that beak. I really like yellow against black. It really pops. And then we just got this little splash of yellow. And because it's from the same color family as red, they go really nicely together. And then this soft blue just made everything pop, you know? It was just gentle strokes in around the edges of things, not coloring the whole thing, but just giving a suggestion of it. And just in through here like this as well. And you can see these chickens are starting to come to life, and they're great because they've got so many different personalities. All right, I look forward to seeing your chooks.